all the different things that they're going to add on to the Airbnb. Oh, they moved this stuff.
Oh yeah,
It's in
yeah.
their contract.
Those people went viral for how hard we were, and they're off Airbnb now. I've been watching the saga,
Yep.
and yeah. No, there's definitely something you got to read. I will say, Aaron and I have had amazing experiences with with Airbnb. I think I might have booked through Verbo once, but yeah, the it's not the company Airbnb, but it is the culture of people inside of it. I don't know if you heard these stories because I don't know if it's nationwide or not. And we'll get started in a minute. Hold your horses, random kid. We'll get there. Come on. But that FIFA was here in Atlanta
Oh yeah,
for
yeah.
about 8 weeks, and people with Airbnbs, I mean, cranked up the price. It's insane, like $1,800 a night and all this stuff. And then like nobody's renting the rooms. Like, yeah, no, because that's insane.
Because you got greedy.
Yeah, and everybody got greedy. I'm like, I'd rather, depending on what I would own, but let's say a condominium in Atlanta, so 2-bedroom condo, right? And let's say I can normally get 600 a night for that, 500 a night, whatever, because it's downtown, it's nice, blah blah blah. I would maybe do 800 a night just because of demand, but honestly, I'd rather have my regular rate guaranteed, locked in for the. I think they were here off and on for almost 8 weeks. I'd rather have the guarantee and knowing that it's taken care of, I don't have to worry about it, than I'm going to try to gouge people for 18. It was so insane.
Well, I've heard of way too many people coming for Dragon Con to Atlanta where they book an Airbnb and then, you know, a month out, the Airbnb people cancel on them and then relist it for like double the price because they were like, oh, I didn't realize that, you know, between Dragon Con and usually there's some
football
game, yeah,
and the Decatur Book Festival, which is a really huge book festival.
So they're like, oh, I could have price gouged people. I should have already been on top of it. So cancel on you and relist it.
Here's one better though. Well, not better. Actually, that one's worse. That is worse. So I guess there is one a little better, but still bad. You know, Botched got a great house the first year. The second year they came, whenever it was, they got a really good house, and it fit them and a lot of the friends, and it was a nice location and everything else. I think you might have stayed there that year. I don't remember.
I think so. The second year, yeah.
Yeah, and they left it in great condition as they do, and this and that and the other. And so the owner was like, "Oh man, you guys were great comments back and forth. Everybody's happy." They went ahead and rebooked for the next year. Something happened, something changed in the spring of the year they were coming to Dragon Con. The owner sold the house, and she messaged like, "Look, I'm so sorry, but you know, I'm physically selling the house. It's not like they were going to gouge anything." And the new owners weren't doing Airbnb, so they had to find somebody else. So I mean, at least as soon as she knew, she told them. But I still only gave them like 4 months out of Dragon Con to get something. So
that's a bit more understandable than these other people.
It's crazy. But I would hope that they would get complained on and get taken off. All right, we're gonna go with I don't know this one. What?
Welcome to Wise and Nerdy, where fatherhood meets fandom.
Baby! What happens when Toys R Us kids grow up and become parents? They become co-hosts of the show where geeky fathers unite to share the joys, challenges, and hilarity of navigating parenthood. Because being a grown-up doesn't mean you stop being a fan. It just means your sidekicks call you, come on, Joe, Daddy-O! You gotta do it deep. Oh, man. What's funny about that? So when I go into that, right, I know my sound is adjusted slightly different than your sound. Like from me to you, I hear it different. But I'm here and I'm managing in my headphones. I'm bringing the music down. I'm trying to gauge my voice and sit back. So how loud is it to you when I start doing that opener?
It's fine.
Okay, so I don't know how the sound is mixed to tie her up, but she cracked me up. So she's going on with Be Awesome Together, right? I stepped back from that show just because of life, and I needed something different, and I needed some rest. And so she's got it back in the groove, and I've been listening. In the first episode, she's like, I'm not going to do Charles' spiel because I'm not a screamer like he or something like that. Like, all I would do is like, are you tired of being awesome? I just did my show voice, man. I don't know what's going on. Everybody's like, ah. So I don't know, dude. But hey, it's not what we call to talk about. I don't
No,
have any
it
horses,
isn't.
this random kid. Well, I would say the other one, but I've been reminded repeatedly in the pre-show that this is PG-13. Joe's very worried about the words that are going to come out of my mouth tonight somehow, some way. So, but you know what, Joe?
That's only because I've met you.
Well, nobody did at Southern Fried for our show. Anyway, I'm still salty. So, hey, let's go to the question of the week.
All right. So the question of the week is, what level of coffee snob would your favorite fictional character be? And that is coming from you and Josh came up with that one.
Yes, we did. If I had realized it was coming up this week, I would have texted him to answer the question, have him call in. Because he doesn't listen. Because why? Why would he? He's only been on here twice. So I'm gonna give him crap about that Saturday if I remember. Okay. I have two favorite fictional characters right now off the top of my head. One is Deadpool, and he's no snob. He would eat the grinds right out of the jar. Deadpool, he is not known for his exquisite taste. Hulk, I don't know. You got Banner and you got Hulk. I think Banner Banner would be whatever. He'll be a Starbucks kind of guy, whatever. He's a professor, so he's used to crappy coffee in the cafeteria. So okay. Hulk, who is way different and cannot stand all the banality that is the human, would be very, very particular about his coffee. And when you didn't get it right, that's when he smashes. That's how I see it.
There you go.
What about you, sir?
My first thought when thinking about just coffee, they're not necessarily my favorite characters, but my first thought was the worms from Men in Black. Because they're constantly drinking coffee. Yeah. Constantly.
Okay, they have the crappy office coffee. Those are Folgers worms, man.
So I wouldn't put them as being snobbish.
Sure, yeah.
They're just addicts. They're just addicts.
Okay, fair.
But then you started talking Marvel, and my favorite Marvel character is Captain America. And being the soldier that he is, I don't think he would care. Like whatever coffee is available, he would drink.
World War II soldier, and he came from a poor Bronx neighborhood. So,
yep,
yeah. But I will say, if he sticks to that, more than likely, he has decent coffee that he made in a decent way at home. Now he may not know how to do it well, but he would not have come from the era of just buying a can and scooping it into a cup. So,
yeah. Now, do you think stimulants work on him? Because we know that alcohol, his metabolism is too high. It purges it out. He can't get drunk.
No, alcohol. Metaphysically speaking, alcohol, coffee, and poison are all the same things to the body. It's not something. Now, not the caffeine itself, but just everything else. It's just not something that is necessarily part of what we are or who we are and what we do. So I think his metabolism purges all. That also means that's why he can't gain weight. It's because he can eat all the pizza he wants. It won't matter. All the crap goes away.
And he will always have America's butt.
You would think about that. Now, Cookie Monster. I think Cookie Monster, he's a go with the flow kind of guy. If he, as long as he's getting his sweet treats with his coffee, he's going to be okay. So he can go to Starbucks, he can go to Dunkin'. Nobody likes McDonald's, so he's going to McDonald's. But he's not going to drink it if he's got to fix it himself. You bring him a pre-made cup of coffee and some cookies, he's just grateful to be there.
And then Inosuke just wants whatever the strongest he can get his hands on.
Because he is the strongest. There's no coffee that can stand up to him.
He would take it as a challenge.
Yeah.
How much caffeine can you fit into your small little cup?
No, I think that'd be the one of the times where he gets that serious looks like, no, caffeine's no good for me. just no. I don't remember. Did I send you some of this guy got on a kick right after Infinity Castle, where he was doing the action figures of all the characters and doing the little stories with them, and it was funny as crap. But
I think I've seen some of them.
Yeah, there's one he did where Inosuke was even like, there's something wrong with that person, because the way they were running the skit, and they were saying weird things. Inosuke's like, yeah, no. Of course, everybody does their 30 seconds to a minute of Inosuke mispronouncing names. I love it. It's so much fun.
I mean, it really makes sense why you love Inosuke. You and him both mispronouncing names left and right.
And don't care. Don't care. He didn't even try. He didn't even try half the time. It's so good.
It's true. It's true. Oh, man. All right. Well, should we go ahead and roll some dice?
I
see
guess
where the night takes us? Unless you want to talk more coffee.
Okay. You're a Mormon. You don't even do coffee.
That's true.
I sent you ads. No.
All right. You want a 1 or a 4?
Surprise me, Daddy.
What are you nerding out about now?
Devil Kurt, is that you?
Oh, my. So, do you want to go first or me?
You go right ahead, sir.
All right. So, what I am nerding out about is a board game that I played while I was back home for the family reunion called Lords of Waterdeep. And I might have to save up and buy it myself. But for those who don't know, Waterdeep is a location in the Dungeons and Dragons world. Well, in the one from the movie, because there's a bunch of different worlds depending on which module you're playing. But anyway, the current main Dungeons and Dragons world. And so the board game is you are one of the lords in Waterdeep, and you're trying to build kind of your influence and score points. And thematically, it is completely different from Ticket to Ride, but it kind of gives the same vibes as Ticket to Ride. And so what?
I know that you keep triggering on my musical stems, man. All I hear every time somebody mentions Ticket to Ride is the Beatles song. She's got a ticket to ride. I can't. So I'm just repressing it. I'm just sitting over here repressing it and trying to let you get on with your story.
My bad.
It's okay.
But yeah, so you start off and you can do a certain number of actions each round, and your goal is to score as many points as possible. But there is a lot of strategy, but everything is out on the board. Now, if you actually go through and read the rules, it seems a lot more complicated than it actually is. And so if anyone was to give this a try, I recommend finding someone that already knows how to play and just starting. They can walk you through what your options are on your turn and just go from there. Because I looked at the rule book, it's a lot thicker than it needs to be. It's
most D&D things.
It's very verbose. Now it has nothing to do with D&D really. It's just they're using the IP is what it boils down to. Okay. Mechanically, it has nothing to do with D&D. There's no classes. There's no races. Well, there's kind of races, but they don't really matter because the Lord character that you're given is randomized each time. And so, like, one time I was a drow, one time I was a human, one time I was, it doesn't actually matter until the very end when you're scoring up points, what your character is, and it's kept secret anyway from the get-go. That way, people don't try to block you off, because each character, depending on what types of missions you complete, you get extra points for, and things like that.
It sounds like a more boring version of Everybody's John.
Wow, it is not even close to everyone.
So I was right. It's more boring. Everybody's John is amazing.
But yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. I had never played it before, and it was a blast. I'll have to keep an eye to see if it comes on sale on like Amazon or somewhere, and see if I can grab it, because I think last time I checked it was like $65 or $80, something like that. And so I do not want to pay that much for it. Or maybe I can find it at like a Goodwill or something. Probably not.
Yeah,
but,
or check like game stores that sell those kind of things.
Yeah.
I would think that would be a better place than Amazon right now. I mean, Amazon does sell obviously a lot of that stuff, but Chattanooga's probably got a number of board game shops that would be fun just to go look in to see if they even have it.
We used to have more. A lot of them have gone under, but we still have a couple. So I could definitely check one of the local game stores and see.
Sounds like a homeschool trip to me.
We've gone, but yeah.
Raging endorsement, 1 star. We've gone.
Well, so one of the ones that shut down. I went in there once to see if I could play like some Yu-Gi-Oh or something because they had some tables. And right when I walked in, it was just the smell of BO. I was like, I'm like, guys, you don't have to be a walking cliche, please. Right. And I was just like, no. And the people, they smelled bad and they weren't friendly. And so I was like, yeah, no, I'm out of here.
That sounds like a fun review of this show. They smelled bad and weren't friendly. I'm out of here. I'm like, 5 stars. 5 stars. Okay, everybody. Okay, I never ask for ratings on iTunes everywhere, but now I want you, if you listen to this show, I want you to go to wherever you can rate this show, especially like Apple Music or Apple Podcasts, whatever, and put in 5 stars. They smell bad. They weren't that friendly. I'm out of here. That's it. I just want y'all to spam that rating. It just confuse the crap out of everybody. Like, wait, what do you mean 5 stars? What are you talking about? Yeah. Make your daddy happy.
Podcasts with smell-o-vision. So, but that's what I'm nerding out about. What are you nerding out about?
All right, so we're going to play a little game, Joe. It's called Guess the Anime from the Title.
Uh-oh.
So the title here is I Keep Making Things and Somehow This Is My Life Now. So tell me about this anime.
It's someone who gets locked in a dungeon, manacled, and is basically a slave. They're given stuff and they have to just create things for their master. And so then they have to create a way to break out of the prison, and then they go solo and they make some epic things.
I mean, you got to the epic. It's funny you started so dark and depressing with your anime. No, it's not anime at all. It's just my life. That I'm excited about the things I'm creating right now and all the opportunities I get to do. So, but that'd be more fun.
Even locked in a dungeon.
Anime. Yeah. I mean, you went so dark. Locked in the dungeon. But you got to, well, they keep making things and it's pretty epic. Yeah. Yes, it is. Okay. I'm not a neckbeard in a dungeon. Thank you. See?
Yeah. But yeah. There's no beard on this neck.
Yeah. It's all the goat, man. It's all the goat. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. So I have gotten to do so many cool different interviews through DragonCon this year. And what is interesting is, I started doing the spokesperson thing 3 years ago, and it was last minute 3 years ago. So it was here's learning some things, kind of jump in a little bit here and there. Last year, it was just a little odd. I couldn't find my groove, and the guys working with, everything was still kind of building, and there were still some health issues and different things happening there. And this year, it's just clicked in with the team, and everything's flowing. And part of it was I'm on my journey right now. I know I kind of hate that term, but it's really true. Is I've been working since last year to stop getting in my own way, to stop myself. I stopped myself from taking chances and creating. I stopped myself from doing the things I want to do, and just taught myself out of things. So I've been doing more and more and more of that this year. And I think that energy helped with the guidance of Dan from the spokesperson. He really helped me. I think I talked about this before. He really helped me shape a really good email. And then I understood better of the targets that we're sending to. So the in the wild targets are hard to hit. And now I know where the list is and who gets approved by DragonCon. And let me tell you, the hit rate there has been so much better. But the most interesting thing is, I talk about, yes, I'm the director of Digital Media Track, and yes, here's some other things I've done. But most of the email is, well, the first big part is about, it's DragonCon's 40, and and I'm a spokesperson for DragonCon. I'd love to come talk to you about what we're doing this year, and so on and so forth. So the part about me is comparatively, is relatively small compared to DragonCon, spokesperson, blah, blah, blah. Almost every last show I've been on did want to talk about DragonCon, but they wanted to talk about me. And I've had different aspects of that interview of being a creator, doing it for so long, the shows I've done, this kind of stuff. And I did an interview Saturday afternoon in England. So it was like 9:00 their time, and did Nerds Up North. And that was such a phenomenal interview. She is the first time she said she's doing solo on that show. And I thought she was great. And it was a ton of fun. Then last night I was on.
So is she coming across the pond to come to DragonCon then?
Her partner is. She's not going to get to make it this year. But I asked her that too. I was like, oh, so you're going to get to come. And so but I got to give a taste of it. And everybody that I've said, because we give kind of some talking points in the emails, like, so you get an idea as press or whatever. Here's some of the things we can hit and some areas we can go in. Everybody basically has said one version or another of, yeah, that's cool, but we really want to talk about the experience, the story, the your take on this, and newbie, how do you help newbies, and those kind of things. And it's been, I tell you, it has been fantastic just to let go and go. I'm on this stranger show, and they wanted me here, and I'm talking about the things that I love the way that I love them. So even when it's a Dragon Hunt, so some of them are very rock god heavy, shows. And some of them, like last night, was very DragonCon heavy, and it went from making the jokes and then telling the stories that were ooh and ah to, giving what we do on the digital media track. We talked a lot about the track specifically. I want to give it out another shout out there because I talked about Nerds at North. All-Star Fandom Prime is who I was on with last night, and
okay, she joined the Discord too.
Yep. Because as I forgot until they brought it up last night on the show, because see, two separate brains, right? I got multiple separate brains, but in this case, I have Charles is being interviewed and talking about DragonCon brain, and Charles is the director of digital media track programming brain. And so I did not realize I'd given them a trivia panel on Thursday night because they just pitched it and said, hey, and I looked at their channel real quick. Cool. Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to see what you do with this. Comedy show, trivia, let's have some fun. That's what Thursday night's all about. And then old Ronco TV, set it and forget it. And so I separated that out. Then when I went down the list of approved press, that in a different mindset, I went and looked at their website and was again impressed by what they did and love what they did. And so I wasn't thinking about it but then they said something about we have a panelist here. I was like, oh yeah, your Cash App did clear. You're right. Just keep it coming. We'll keep they're talking about like the different iterations of the schedule. And every time they see that notification, they go in, are we safe? Are we good? I'm like, yeah, just keep the Cash App flowing. You'll make the cuts. But I got to talk about something I never got to talk about. Like I got to really talk to them specifically about the internal mindset workings of what I do on the track and where I was trying to go with it from the start. And I got to tell the story again of how I basically snuck in and got the job. To what we're doing now and the con as a whole. And so it's just been, I create things and this is my life now. It's really cool opportunities are coming around that I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. And I give them a special shout out because they brought up that Dion, I think is the main host. I told him last night I was going to forget the names.
Sanders?
Yeah, no, he's not that cool. I don't think he listens, but that was a joke. But it's Dion. I mean, nobody's prime time, but prime time. So, Doc, which I don't know his real name, but Doc. So apparently Dion's been coming. I think he said this is his third, or maybe this will be his fourth year. Maybe he's either come 3 years and this is 4, or this will be his third year. Doc, I think, came last year for the first time, and then this year, I can't remember her name off the top of my head right now. But she, their partner, it's a trio. She's coming for the first time this year, and so it was a great mix of their. And I love how they went down. Each one took a turn taking questions, asking stuff. But they came. Doc and Dion came last year to Wise and Nerdy. So like, yeah, we came to your panel, and you were doing something with Dice Line. That's my podcast, Wise and Nerdy. He came to, and then it dawned on me, was like, oh wait. Because I kind of vaguely remember, I mean, we had a decent crowd. We only had 6-7 people talk to us, shut up, middle schooler, talk to us and our questions. So, wait, y'all jumped in with stories about how our parents raised us kind of somewhat badly, and immediately like, yeah. One of them was like, yeah, I was talking about how I watched RoboCop, and the other one was like, yeah, I was talking about, and they remembered what they shared with us at the con in that segment, and so like really cool, man. I'm glad y'all came out and enjoyed the show. So that was a nice full circle that and then they saw some other panel I was on and this, that, and the other. And I mean, it's hard to explain, but it's when it's just when you're co-creating, right? I've done interviews where like, okay, cool, I'm answering questions, but all the shows that I've booked this year, I've been able to create something with that person. And like it's that new moment. So the stories I tell are different. The energy I tell, the pieces I talk about are different. And they're right there because they're pulling out different things they want. Art is King was what I went on. I got to get tired. Tyler's asked for a list. But Art is King, he was all about creating art here in Atlanta and empowering people to do that. So our conversation there was really creative. Just so many cool things. So that's my anime life. Joe.
You're out of the dungeon and making things epic.
Epically, yes, sir.
Oh, man. All right, well, let's roll some dice.
Wild targets are hard to hit because they're overflowing with basic white chicks. Says random kid.
You want a 3 or a 4?
3, 4. 3, 4. I guess 4. I don't know.
Parliament of Papas.
All right, now you overruled yourself on this one. You started to put something in, and then you changed your mind.
That is accurate. I was looking in our Discord, and a couple weeks back, the full run through put in a comment in our Parliament of Papas chat, and I figured we'd talk about it.
And before we do that, if you go to wiseandnerdy.com/links, you'll find our Discord. You'll find everything we have there, but you can join our Discord for free. And please come share your parenting woes, joys, advice, relationship stuff. Come be a part of the daddy-os, if you will. Mommy-os also welcome.
That's right. All right, so the full run-through says, this might be a Parliament enough question, but I'm not really looking to start a big debate. Well, too bad, because you're going to get it. How long do you let your kids do or say something wrong because it's cute before you start correcting them?
No.
At what point do you decide they need to learn how it actually works so they can eventually become a functional human being? He provides an example. Our 9-year-old always tries to say hasta la vista when he's about to shoot us with a nerd gun. I assume he meant Nerf gun.
Who's saying things wrong now, cutie pie?
I'm just reading what was typed. But instead, it usually comes out like pasta la vista.
Okay, gotcha.
I know part of it is because he has a speech impediment, but how long until I at least attempt to try and correct his punctuation? Oh, nope. I read that wrong. Pronunciation.
Well, okay. And you're what, 38, 30, 64? How old are you?
You're close, 39.
30. So, yeah, you got a long way to go before you correct your kid because, I mean, Joe, come on. 39. So how old was the kid again?
9.
8? 9. Okay. Now, you threw in the speech impediment without knowing the details on that. It's harder for me to give a little bit. And I'd have to hear the kid interact with the kid by details. I mean, let me do my own assessment, if you will. That's going to be a touchy one because you want to make sure that you're working. I'm hoping, it depends on the impediment, but they're working with a therapist. So there's going to be ways to handle things. I would say in general, now I'll talk about my kids specifically in a minute, but in general in this situation, perhaps you find a way to make it a game of having fun, like make it fun for him when you correct him. And, like we always joke about the nerd thing on the hero, like, actually, and you do the glasses, right? Mm-hmm. Up the nose. And if you don't have them, you still can do the motion. We all know what you're talking about. Something fun like that where you go over the top, like, well, actually, it's hasta la vista, or say, I don't know, whatever your style would be, right? Because it's a speech impediment that's getting me, because I don't know where that's going to play things and why it's there. I mean, cause it could be mechanical, it could be functional, it could be mental. So I'm having a hard time giving some of that advice. What you got?
Well, yeah, that definitely adds a whole other layer to it. But in general, we just let it ride. Because for instance,
no, Joe, that's bad parenting.
I mean, it depends. So if it's just mispronunciations, we use the correct word, but we don't go out of our way to say, hey, you're saying it wrong. But when we refer to it, we okay. So Jebediah, all three of our kids are learning the piano. My wife plays the piano, and they're getting the basics of it.
Sure.
And Jebediah, he likes to put his iPad up on the piano and pull up Duolingo, because there is a piano
that's right.
feature on Duolingo. Yeah. And so he'll come up to us. He'll be like, "Is it all right if I practice the piano?" And so I don't know if he read it wrong, because sometimes an I can look like an L or what, but he says piano, and so we let it ride for we're not gonna.
I don't know what you mean by let it ride. Are you saying like you've never tried to correct him?
There have been occasional times, but in general, no, we don't really. We're just like, yeah, you can, we'll respond, yeah, you can play the piano, that's fine, and we'll use the correct word, but we won't actively point it out that he's saying it wrong.
I mean, everything is kind of dependent on the situation.
Well, and if it's misconstrued into something that can be offensive, that's a whole other discussion as well.
That. I encourage that. Don't you correct him. Don't you correct him. He can say he likes to see. Never, I won't say that joke. But, but so I know there comes a point in time with every one of my kids. I sat down like, hey, kiddo, I need you to listen. It's spaghetti. Spaghetti, or it's piano. I want you to know.
Not sketty.
Pusketty, I think, was the one in our house that was throughout the families, as all the kids kind of grew up, with the cousins and whatnot. It was kind of the thing, and you do kind of use the normal word, and yes, there's certain times when they grow out of things. But I think of the White Collar Comedy Tour. It was the second big comic on there. I can't think of the names of the comics on the comic tour. Anyway, he said, "Here's your sign, guy." Bill, what? No, not yet. Yeah, Jeff Cox or the Rednecks. The other guy was "Here's your sign." Yeah.
Here's your sign.
Yeah, is that one? But he was talking about, before he got big for the "Here's your sign," he did something about my kid was out in the yard today going, "Dad, the plane." He's like, "That's the dumbest 18-year-old I've ever raised." So I kind of think about that, as people talk about things. So as my kids get to certain points, one thing I always talk about is never choose stupid. And so I give them knowledge of going, I need you to understand it's like this. Sometimes we'll mess with them. And yes, sometimes when they're young, it is very cute for them to say stuff, and it becomes uncute at a certain point. But it's a sticky situation as a stepdad too, to deal with that. But with my kids, it's instant and it's harsh sometimes. I don't remember what it is that they like to say poorly. All of my kids are older than 12 at this point. Actually they're 13 and up. So there's no excuses unless they're just sounding something out, right, and figure out a new word. And they'll say something, I'll just go, no, it's this. I mean, I just can't even stop myself, because it drives me crazy, whatever to say. It's blah. And my son, Rylan, he'll look and go, piano. Whatever the word is. I'm like, he just looks me dead in the eye, he says it right. He does it slow too, whatever it is. He does it wrong, and so I'm like, oh, I hate you so much. So
yeah,
but they know I love them, and I'm trying to correct them, and I don't want them to ever embarrass themselves in a way that should have been mentioned before.
Yeah, I mean, if there's some social consequences, then you'll want to work with them on it. Like if they're going to school and saying things wrong, getting made fun of for it, then you work on them and help them out and things like that. But when they're younger, I don't think you need to worry about it. But like you said, your kids are now teenagers and up, and so they should be pronouncing things relatively correctly or correct misunderstandings. Even though you mispronounce things or say the wrong words all the time, especially Pokemon names.
You have two choices. Either figure it out, Flareon, see, got it,
or Pikachu.
Or
it's always Pikachu.
You have to make a brand out of it. You have to make a joke out of it. But if you and I'll get actually really frustrated when I'm trying to say something like names. I find names to be important. So if somebody has a harder to say name, I'll go, okay, don't say it. Let me try it. So close I can get. And I say, they'll go, oh, it's close, but it's sometimes like, oh, that's close. I'm like, no. Close is not good enough. I need you say it now. And then correct me when I say it, because it is important to be called what you want to be called. I mean, I can tell my own story about all that, but some of the things that it's like, I don't hate. It's not like you can say things about my name that gets me instantly riled, because you've done it, you've tried. It's like, no, but but the reality is when people automatically shorten my name, and they've just met me, it tells me everything I need to know about you. I'm done. I'm out. I don't like it. So I think it's important that if it just means something to try. So I want my kids to all know they at least try, but then you also got to draw that line on not being too overbearing, because I have found that, I mean, there's some that just drive me crazy. How do you not know how to say Giovanni? That's just a universal name. I mean, come on. But
Team Rocket would come after you if you mispronounced Giovanni.
Giovanni. See, I got the bad guys. But it very much is. Sometimes you can say things in a different way, and I realize I'm thinking myself messing in different things as I've come up, and I've realized it just depends on what part of the country. There seems to be no universal pronunciation for some of the words, so then you just gotta back off. And go, it's okay. He could say, "Well, I wouldn't." I don't know how you mispronounce piano. That's okay, because everybody calls it piano, but. My daughters, both in their teens, have decided to adopt some English sayings as they go through. They put on a little accent and they say little things like, cool, go away.
Yeah. But then now it makes me think of like seeing adults that are like, today I learned that I've been saying stuff wrong my whole life. Like instead of lactose intolerant, be like, oh, lactose in tolerant, or something like that, where they are just using the phrase wrong or saying it wrong. Like they know what they mean, and when they say it, other people know what they mean, but that is not what they're actually saying. So there's
work on one.
Ignorance that can be corrected, definitely.
So the stores, it can have groceries, it can have clothes, it can have toys. The store you go to, the big blue roof, gold lettering.
Wally World.
That's okay. Order in the court. Don't be a doofus or I'm going to shoot you with a nerd gun.
That's what my dad used to call Walmart all the time. I've heard plenty of people that say that.
No, that's fine. Whatever. That's not even the point. But how do you say the official name?
Walmart?
Correct. Lots of people in the South put an S on it. Walmart's.
Oh,
Kroger's. Yeah, I'm going to Kroger's. No, you're not. There's one, and it's Kroger with an R. And there's no R in water. There's an R at the end. There's only one R in water. It's at the end.
That's why they love Publix so much, because it already has that S sound at the end.
Yeah, I'm going to Publix. And thank you, Random Kid. Bill Engvall was the name of the comedian. Rando got it in.
Here's your sign.
Yep. All right, well, let's roll the dice case.
Alrighty. All right, we've already done one, so it is time for
bad dad jokes.
I thought we were getting random trivia.
It's time for random trivia.
Yep.
Oh,
maybe some bad dad jokes when once a month you just do some random trivia about something.
Maybe. I've got a joke I think you're gonna like.
No, it won't.
We'll see if it's actually a bad dad joke. That's debatable.
It is not.
Oh, okay. If you go skydiving and something happens to go wrong, don't worry, because you have the rest of your life to fix it.
I muted you. I'll let you tell it again. I'm like, I'll prove that's a bad dad joke. Mute. Now we can't hear it. So, okay, do it again.
No. I've got your reaction. It's okay.
That was a good bad dad joke. Yeah. Fair enough. Whatever.
All right. Do you want me to actually say it again? I can't.
No, but you can.
All right.
The podcast might want you to because they didn't hear it.
If you go skydiving and something goes wrong, don't worry, because you have the rest of your life to fix it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
It smelled bad. It was mean to me. I'm out of here.
Oh.
That's too real. I mean, why are you still looking at me? That's it's not the fall that kills you, it's the sudden stop at the end. Yeah.
People were falling off of the roof at the nightclub. That's when they realized that it wasn't the bouncer.
No, they weren't the bouncers or something like that. Yeah.
Oh,
all right,
man.
Can we
what?
on out of here?
I guess we can roll the dice.
I think as much as you enjoy these, you work harder to find a bunch of jokes.
Have we done 3? Have we done 5? We haven't done either, I don't think.
No, we have not.
Time for a commercial break.
That is true. And, I did not even blaspheme Potteration by making a sponsor to Bad Dad joke tonight.
Brought to you by Potteration, podcast for nerds.
That's one of our favorites. We should record some of those.
Ooh, a 20, a nat 20.
It'd be fun if you just...
elevator music.
I need some more music. I only have 5 pads, and they all are kind of slow. I don't know. All right, so if you'd like to help get us some music, go to Patreon.com. Actually, send in your own creations. Would be, go to wiseandnerdy.com/links. Our email is there. Our email is wiseandnerdyshow@gmail.com. Yeah?
WNNshow@gmail.com.
Dang it. My brain had it, but Joe had to interpret it. So, yeah, but send in your stuff. That'd be awesome. Joe, what's been frustrating you this week?
All the stuff that's been going wrong in my house. We talked about that briefly on the pre-show.
That was last week. What's this week?
But my wallet doesn't realize it was the week before.
All right. We're going to... Brought to you by Citibank. We're going to do breathe in. What's in your wallet? Breathe out. Nothing.
If I was a cartoon character, I'd open my wallet and the fly would come on out.
There were moths.
Or the moth.
Yeah, all right. You know what? I have not been frustrated this week. I have actually had some great moments of just... There were days that were so down and so low, like all my energy was gone. But my wife and I could talk about it and just say to each other, it's been an overwhelming day. We're cool. And for probably the first time ever, she was calling the vendor about something the other day and just immediately went to yelling and had nothing to do with me. And I didn't take it personal. It didn't even affect me. I was like, oh, no, that's going to sucky. And I get you. And what are we going to do for the next steps? And so on and so forth. And
turn it into a vacuum.
We're going to, for all the daddios out there, all the daddios out there that you want just a little bit more peace. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna breathe in peace and we're gonna breathe out the frustrations. All right, Joe, do it with me here. Breathe in peace. Hold it. There you go. Breathe out the frustration. At least you got the money to fix the stuff. So
allegedly,
everybody sit in your car for a minute. Hopefully you're at a stoplight and just chill out and reset. We'll be back with some more. right, Joe. What's I think it's a question of the week from coming up in a couple weeks.
Yep. The question of the week for September 10th is, what item from sci-fi would make parenting so much easier?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I know. That's why I said it.
What item from sci-fi would make your podcasting life so much easier? AI. All right.
And here I have to expect you to say the remote from, what was that, Click?
Oh,
with,
yeah.
With Adam Sandler.
Yeah. All right. We've got any other business, any other speak pipes or anything to play this evening?
Nope.
Good, because I hate speak pipes. I don't want to ever hear them again. You waste my time with that crap.
That's my disappointed face there.
I heard the beautiful Devo. I saw the cutie pie Joe. So I don't know what to do there. So go ahead, as you roll the dice, something else I am nerding out about with creativity is I have done some recording on some things. I'm starting to work on what I want to do, but Somatics is based off Atlanta, and it's a group of people who make beats like that. They mix music like that, and they have stems and different things, and they've been doing some really cool lives, and their videos are pretty interesting to watch, and they're kind of fun people, and they're showing off their new studio where they now can do recording vocals, and they gave away so much stuff for free. I got over 2 days because I spent all of Saturday with it just on my laptop. I was doing things and listening to them. And as you're listening, okay, we're going to give away a pack of this and that. And they had a special website for it. And you'd just be listening to know. So it's random when they gave it away. And out of 2 days, I walked away with like 30 different, like at least 4 or 5 plugins that change sound and do things. I'm so excited about one called Pluck, where it takes the music you have and you just tap the screen and it adds ocean wave forms to it. It's crazy. It's really cool. And so I got a bunch of different plugins like that and a bunch of different packs with drum samples and keyboard samples and guitar samples. Got so much stuff. I filled up my hard drive when I was starting to download it all. So I need to refresh my production machine, but it's getting me more excited. And they're mixing some stuff live. Like, oh, wait, you're not using like a MIDI keyboard like that. You're doing it like the way I want to do it is with a mouse, and you're placing this. Okay, I need to watch some more. Oh, and by the way, there's Somatics installer, and some of the packs actually come with tutorials on how they were using them and showing you steps and stuff. So I'm very excited about. I have a new way to do things. I always like new free stuff, so it gets me excited. So hopefully, maybe soon, my stuff will show up on here, but we'll see.
There you go. There you go. All right, we had number 3.
How do I?
And this one was put in here by you. How do I tell my kid that I don't actually like the thing they're obsessed with without making them feel like I don't care about them?
That can be a tough one. And Joe, I want to hear your thoughts on that. What would you do?
What I've started doing lately, and this probably isn't the right approach, but it's the one I've been taking lately. When my kids ask me to do something, usually they phrase it, "Hey, do you want to play this with me?" I'm like, "No, but I'll do it anyway because I want to spend time with you." And
I interpret it differently, but I got you. Okay.
And so that's, like I said, that's probably not the best way to go about it, but that's what I've been doing lately. Cause like they'll ask me to play a game on Steam with them or something like that. And like one of them that they were playing a bunch for a while there was Peak on Steam. Mm-hmm. And I don't really care for it at all. But when they ask me to play,
so how are they asking you?
They just come and be like, "Dad, play Peak with us. I want to play Peak."
And then you go,
"Dad, do you want to play Peak?"
And you go, "All right, you little butt face. I really don't. I think it's a piece of crap game, but I want to hang out with your sorry butt. So here we go. Let's suck it up."
I'll be like, "I don't really want to play Peak, but I want to spend time with you, so I'll play with you."
I mean, I like honesty. I do like honesty. I don't know that it's necessary. unless they're trying to say all the time, let's play. Come on, let's go. Then you go, hey, I don't really enjoy it to the level you enjoy it, but I'll pick some time to hang with you, whatever. I interpreted the question differently. I interpreted more of as kids can get obsessed, like with Pokemon or YouTube creators or whatever, right? My two daughters are obsessed with like horror films, and they love that stuff. And they'll watch something and they're excited and they want to share. And they first started, because I've always taught them spoilers, and they would first go, do you want to see it? I'm like, oh, hell no, not in a million years. But I'd love to hear what you thought of it. I want to hear your enjoyment. I want to share in that. But I'll never watch that movie because that's just not my cup of tea. It's not going to happen. And so they have the love. When you have that freedom just to share something that's not going to spoil, they get to do that. But it's anything like that. I mean, if it came down to a game, I've been honest with people like, do you want to do this? Like, no. Actually, okay, with my wife. I had to do it with my wife not that long ago, maybe a couple years ago, where I was working a lot, still when I was running the other company, and I was working a lot. And so when I was home, I wanted to be home. And I didn't read between the lines like I probably could have, and went to, she's missing me, she wants to spend time. And she didn't use her adult words like, hey, come on, hang out. It's the time we have. She's like, hey, do you want to go to Target? And finally one night, because I'd been saying no to stuff, I could tell. I was like, well, that's not seeming to sit right. But she's like, I'm going out to Kroger when it comes. Like, all right, here's the truth. I'm finally using my big boy words. Here's the truth. And you can use this with your kid too. No, if you're asking me if I want to go walk around a store instead of sit here and play on my phone or play on my game, absolutely not. I have zero interest in that. But if you're saying, hey, this is the time I have and you want to hang out with me, by all means, yeah, I'll come spend time with you. And it was almost like, no, tonight was just a store. And then after that, she was like, hey, would you come hang out with me? So it's a very clear difference. And like with the kids, I do the same thing. I'll try to explain to them. And like you kind of said, I love that you love it, but it's if this is what we can do, this is what we can do. I'm not a Call of Duty person. I would never spend that much time to get really, really good at it, but I spent enough time to get good enough as my kid to hang out with my kid, because they were really enjoying it during COVID. They were both the boys were really enjoying Call of Duty. And so we did that for a year and a half, until really I got back to full-time working and life took off, whatever. Fortnite, I tried. I said, I just can't. I can't do that one, but I can do that. We found that way to do it. So yeah. What does Kelsey say there?
She says, I have some games I refuse to play with the kids because they're so obsessed, but they tell me all about it, and I end up learning about the game so I can talk too. And that's so like around the dinner table, first I'll start off by asking them, hey, what did you do today that didn't involve video games? Because that's usually a much shorter list anyway.
Did you roll the dice and see if they can talk games first?
But then I'll ask them, I'm like, okay, well, what did you have fun in this? And I created a Discord server for them and their friends to talk about games and stuff like that, and to post funny screenshots and memes.
Yeah, so you're empowering the thing that they love in a safe place. That's really cool. Yeah.
And so like the last week-ish, one of their friends got them into, I think it's called American Truck Simulator. They downloaded the demo on Steam. Nice. And I look at that and I'm like, that does nothing for me. But some of the pictures that they send of funny moments, I'm like, okay, that's pretty funny.
Here's what this is a difference in brain. That's all I believe is all it is. I don't understand that mentality. Like you feel the need to say, it does nothing for me, but I can blah, blah, or kitchen with the kid. My wife does the same thing. She's like, oh yeah, I don't care. And I'm like, I know enough about everything to pick up on what you're saying, learn from you, and I'll just have fun playing. And it never even crosses my mind to go, it does nothing for me. I mean, I might never pick it up again, but I'm very particular too. Now, games or whatever, I'll play any game with my kids. But I'm very particular about the shows. So, if they bring something to me that I should watch, with them, I'll do that. They're like, hey, let's watch this. Sure, I'll give it a shot. If it's a TV series, I'll say, because I want them to say the same thing. I say, hey, I'm cool. This is not for me. I get what you like about it, but why don't we try something different? So, but I don't know. I get it. I mean, it's like mentally I can understand where you and Aaron and Kelsey may be coming from, but everything else in me is like, I don't get it. I don't get what you're talking about. What do you mean? What do you mean don't play the game? It's simple. Just play the game. It's okay. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Jeff? Why do you say? I don't really like it, but I'll spend time with you. I don't. Just go play. Go play. I don't know. that
You reminded me of a character from Dungeon Crawler Carl, who's a goat that just randomly screams sometimes, and that that's what you reminded me of right there.
I would totally play Goat Man or something.
They did play some kind of a goat simulator at their friend's place, or goat.
Oh, that one's crazy.
Yeah, well, apparently their friends aren't allowed to play that one with noise on because it swears a whole bunch.
Oh, I don't remember that. I just remember the goat noises all the time. One of my kids played it.
I've never actually tried it, but my kids were telling me that their friends are not allowed to play that with the noise on because apparently the goat swears a whole bunch or something like that. But no, I'll talk to them about various games. Usually a lot more than I play it with them. And if they ask me to, I'll usually try a game a couple of times before I start saying, I don't really like that game, but I'll play with you if you want me to.
Now, I guess I came from a background where instead of a connection with my father, we had games. Because there was an era, as I think is in any geek parent's life, where as I was coming up, my dad was showing me the Atari, and then we got into Nintendo and PlayStation and Sega, and later on Xbox, right? But the Nintendo was a big one in our house. We had that for a while, and my dad would get the carts, and he liked certain games, like he loved sports games. For a while I was kind of into sports games, but it wasn't my cup of tea. But I would hang out and play with him. But then it just became always, hey, you want to sit down and play? And I'm like, nah, I'm good. You want to play Street Fighter? He's like, because he didn't even get a chance. That was it. He never gave Street Fighter a chance. Now he might not have been good at it. But I'm like, you can just have Balrog or Chun-Li and just spam the button. I mean, come on, man. But I remember at some point later on in my teen years when he was like, hey, you want to play? And there would be times when I'd absolutely humor him and sit down and play the baseball game and get trashed. Sit down and play the football game and get trashed. Like, I'm trying, but he plays it all the time, right? So he knows everything. And I'm like trying to pick and trying to remember, oh, yeah, I got to hit C to jump up or jig or whatever it is. And, I was like, cool talk, bro. And went on. And I remember wanting to connect with them on some level. So I think that kind of translates to with my kids. I'll always try to find what they're interested in and try to understand it because, well, also I do talk to them about life. I do try to get them to share stories. I know I balance a lot of other areas, but I guess the game part of it is very much, I can't be stuck on, I love this game, I want you to play it. I need to figure out what I can do to be there. Because I guess I kind of mentally take like TV Hallmark type moments and go, oh, that'd be kind of fun. And one of them is telling the story in old age. We're like, oh, Dad loved this thing. And my wife was like, nah, he didn't. He didn't really care. He just loved hanging out with you the whole time. And you never knew. That's what I want. And maybe that's where I'm going, what do you mean, Joe? You have to tell me into the game. I don't get it.
Yeah, well, and I remember, and I think I've told this on the podcast before, but my dad at one point bought a controller for our Nintendo 64 that was literally a steering wheel and pedals because he wanted to play racing games with us, specifically like Mario Kart or Need for Speed or something, different things like that, because he liked racing. Now, he didn't play like hardly any other video games with us. But yeah, but he wanted to spend time with us, so he specifically bought that because he was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to do a controller. But it was a form. It was a form factor that he could use.
Pop and NASCAR. Yeah.
Now,
man.
I tried using that steering wheel controller to play Duke Nukem. It did not. It did not work at all. I got murdered a lot and killed like no one. But yeah.
But the reason when you said I watched some clips of the trucker games. I think I could play it for a minute and I'd go, oh yeah, that was fun, or an afternoon. Yeah, that was cool, and then whatever, right? But if they really get into it, man, the rigs, no pun intended, but the rigs that they can build with multiple screens doing, here's a side window, here's a side window, here's the big window, driving sticks, pedals, clutches, stick shifts, all kinds of stuff. Don't even get them started on the airplane flight simulators where you can get the throttles and the yoke pedals and all that jazz, man. It can go deep if you're not careful.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Guitar Hero. That's one I always wanted my kids to get into. And when they were old enough, I couldn't find a reasonably priced one because about that time they'd faded out and music games as a whole kind of went away. But I had a little dream of having a family band on Band Hero or whatever the game was. It had all the, I think they all eventually did, but there's one that came out that maybe it was Rockstar Band or Rock Hero. I don't know.
Yeah, the one that had guitars, drums, and the microphone. Yeah, I don't remember specifically which one it was, but I do remember playing it in college.
Yeah.
Was it Rock? That sounds right.
Yeah, that sounds right. So, yeah. So you got to gauge it on the kid, but you got to gauge it on the why. Do you need to tell them that you're not into the thing? Can you just ride with it? But then, then I get it. If somebody's like, all they're talking about is sometimes works for a while. And sometimes you can just say, can we come back tomorrow? I don't think I've dealt with any of my kids being that obsessed. Like that's all they talk about.
We've gotten to the point a couple of times where we've asked our kids, hey, can we change the topic for the rest of the day? We'll come back to it. There was a while there where Bob, all he wanted to talk about was Pokemon. And I like Pokemon. We did a podcast about Pokemon.
Yeah.
But it was excessive. Like almost everything out of his mouth was something to do with Pokemon. And we're like, hey bud, let's change the topic for the rest of the day, please.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you teach them, think about panels, right? This is for us. We can use this for life, right? Think about, okay, hey, when we're in this time frame, we're going to talk about it like this. But after the timer goes off, whatever time as a parent you want to set, then I want to talk about something that I really enjoy. Because that's the thing as parents, too. If you really think about it, we do that. And I'm picturing in this question the father who's obsessed with football or basketball or baseball, and he's always got the jerseys. He's always, and every Sunday is game, and their kid is wanting to talk Pokemon, and it's the same thing, but y'all don't get each other. That's really what it kind of comes down to, and all you're already doing it. You're already you're sharing your joy. So do a timer. 10 minutes. We're going to talk about your thing. 10 minutes, we're talking about my thing. And ultimately, you'll find ways to relate to each other. I think that's the goal here.
Yeah. That makes me think of, did you ever watch Young Sheldon, the Big Bang Theory prequel? And there's different times where the dad is trying to talk football with Sheldon, or Sheldon's trying to talk science with his dad. And there's a definite disconnect there, but they still try to respect the interests of the other, even if it's not their thing. So
and I use TikTok to that. All my kids are on there now, and what I love about raising them in a media household is they're not impressed by media, so they're not on that stuff a lot. But like Ryland's experimenting with guitar stuff, and he's never come to ask me about it. It took him till he was years old to even know I ever played guitar. So he never asked. And I was like, I'm not that person. I don't feel the need like, oh, let me show you everything. It's like your papa's jumping in, all these people. Cool. You got this. But I'll send the videos like he's into golf. He's into, which I'm really not into. He's into a number of things. So I'm like, oh, I find a video. I'm like, as a person who's not into that, I think this is really cool. I want to know what you think of it. And so then he watches the video because that's the only time he'll get on TikTok if I send him a video. And then he'll come out, oh yeah, no, that was really cool, or he'll educate me. And everybody wants to feel like they know something. So giving somebody an opportunity to teach you something about what they love, it ain't gonna hurt you.
Yeah, Ryland
might bring it down.
What I love about Ryland is how self-motivated he is. Like when I was there for Southern Fried Gaming Expo, he's just randomly outside cutting wood and whatnot, trying to make a mirror. Granted, that ended up falling and breaking. Yeah. So I felt bad for him in that regard. But he was just doing it all on his own, and he is fiercely independent when it comes to projects. And so that's.
And if you really look at your kids, you'll see pieces of you that have split off. And I can see that in each one of them. And his is very much, there was so many times I was friendless like he is, but I was okay because I didn't have a lot of opportunity to make friends in the life that I lived, but also I loved books. I loved entertaining myself. I loved doing the different things that I did, and I didn't have to worry about people. So I see some of that in him. He's had the opportunities to make some friends, and I've asked him, he's like, okay, why didn't you hang out with this person? And it comes down to like, he was just too much. It wasn't a good fit, man. And I was like, cool,
it's not for me.
Know that. Yeah, it's not for me. I'm out of here. They stunk badly. They were mean to me. So yeah, no, I do. I was never crafty like him. I never actually, but that's his uncle's influence. His uncle's always building stuff. I mean, he built the studio and all these barns, and just like I do when I'm doing setting up computers or lights or whatever, I get my kids indoctrinated in that, so they're used to it. The uncle did the same thing. So they're getting cool stuff, but you can see yourself in all of them, and that means you can find a way to see why they like what they like. And then, there's no problem in going, not tonight. Let's talk about something else. How about them Yankees? I don't know. I don't play baseball.
I am not a sports ball kind of guy.
The Bears.
That's true. All right. Well, should we go on to our last segment? Okay. Right. I didn't realize we had a guest, Bob Magoo, here. All right. So the last segment is
Daddy, tell me a story.
Speaking of Bob Magoo,
the ghost of Magoo.
And this one I pulled from the depths of our sheet of things to talk about. It's labeled as a story from you. Quote, bad dinner taken to the hospital.
And actually, when you brought it up pre-show, I had to, okay, let me think. What's it triggering? Yes, I wrote that. All right. So many years ago, before we had kids, I had flipped a motorcycle and I'd severed the ACL in my knee.
Oh boy.
And I'm trying to think I think this was pre-surgery, because there's a point in time where I was out, but short-term disability is 60% of your pay. It's better than nothing, but it's no bueno. And especially when I wasn't making crap. Anyway, I'm like the entirety of a paramedic's pay comes from overtime. Like that's how we make our money, because it's built in. And so when you're getting disabilities based off of your annual salary on straight time, you take a huge cut. So I was always pushing to go back to work, but it was shortly after the accident, and I called up to the fire department I worked at. It's like, hey, guys, would you mind if I came by and ate dinner with you and hung out? And like, of course, you can come and hang out. And they all missed me. I was paramedic there for a couple years with them, and then I went back later after the surgery. But I remember going in with crutches, and they had grilled these pork chops that were super tasty. And I ate them, and Aaron ate them because Aaron had to drive me because, knees all locked up in braces and whatnot. And good night. I remember driving on the way home, and I think it was me, but I can't remember if it was me or her, but I think it was me, that one of us burped, and you could smell it coming off the window. It's like, oh, that really smells like pork chop. Whoa. And we're laughing, this, that, and the other, whatever. We get home, everything's kosher. We turn off the light. I mean, after time, whatever. We're getting ready for bed. We turn off the lights, and Aaron's like, man, I'm just gonna feel a little funny. It's like, all right, you know, sure, whatever. And then as she does sometimes, she just goes to the bathroom and she throws up a little bit, whatever, comes back, and she's not shaking it. It's just getting worse. So I like, should we go to the ER? Let's go to the ER because, you know, whatever. And we went to the local ER where I was the paramedic. So, I mean, they had like 3 beds or whatever. I said a lot of whatever, so I don't know why. But the funny part of the story was it was weird that we smelled it in the car. That should have been a telltale sign that something's not right. It just hit her wrong. And we went to and she could not stop throwing up. And so she had to drive us there, doing all that, just like, I'll hold the bag, whatever, just get us. We didn't live that far from the hospital. So we did check with the ER.
I may have missed it. Why did she have to drive? Why couldn't you?
Because I had my knees in a brace.
That's right. That's right. Got it.
Is it it's locked in a position. I'm using crutches to get around. Kind of
I understand now.
Now it is my left leg, but still. And so we go to the hospital, and of course it's fine. Young age, everything else, young age. They insisted on doing a pregnancy test, which I'm like, I don't know why, but I was like, I know it's not that at all. Because this is not all of a sudden you're pregnant. This is like something else going on. I mean, she just pacing, couldn't settle down, couldn't do that. So finally, I mean, we're talking about midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. It's just going on. And really, we didn't have the phones then like we do now. I think I may have had a Game Boy Advance that I was playing on or something. And finally, they gave her enough Zofran and enough Energen and fluids that she settled in and calmed down. And it's like 4 a.m. It's good. I'm like, my knee is killing me. I thought, like, look, I'm going to lay in that other bed because this is small. I mean, it's tiny ER. There was no else going to. And so I ended up laying in that bed, stretching my leg out. So now both of us are laid up. She's all laid out with IV. And then every once in a while, she'd wake up in a stupor and try to pull the IV out. So I have to, like, smack her with the crutch or something to tell her to stop. You know? and ultimately, we're good, right? She's good. They're like, yeah, seems like she's settled down. Seems like everything's good. We're fine. They're like, are you going to drive her home? I'm like, I didn't even think about that. 6 a.m. Now, we've been up for all this time, whatever time in the morning we got up the day before, and we've been up. Anyway, she's finally sleeping, right, a little bit. We get her. They help me get her. They get her in a wheelchair. They get her out to the car. Like, well, I got my right leg's my good leg. I can kind of figure out how to get this brace in. And ultimately, I just kind of took the brace off, and it was Ginger with the knee. They didn't want to put damage in it. It was like, somebody's got to get us home. And so it's a 5-minute ride from 10 minutes max from the hospital to our duplex. And so I'm driving along, and she's sitting in the passenger seat, kind of drugged down a little bit. Yeah, dazed. And she's doing this, swear to God, Joe, she's like, what? Like, I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything at all. I don't know. Okay. Back to sitting in the seat. And she's just whispering to herself, what did you say? I'm like, oh my God, she's going to murder me. It's like, I didn't say nothing. It's not me. It's not me. And
she was hearing the voices?
Yeah, but she's whispering. She is the voices. She's the voices that she hears. So no. And I think she gets a third one, and I'm like, babe, here. And I just started talking random smack or whatever to her, and she calmed down. And then we got to the house.
It was just too quiet for her.
Yeah, I guess so. And so, yeah, it was like later on then we slept all day, right? Got up at dinner time or whatever. And ultimately, she didn't remember. She only remember about half the night at the ER. And then she not remember the ride home. Like, God, man, today, dude, if we'd had the way I could put my phone in the holder and record her, that whole, I mean, it was almost out of a horror movie. It's like, and then accusing me, what'd you say? It's like, whoa, I don't know what you're hearing. But
did she start floating off the bed in the middle of the night?
I don't know. I passed out. I have no idea. You can murder me at that point. I just need some sleep now. Because I could not take my pain medication, right? Because I'm out in public. I'm not going to do that. It was like Percocets or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen with her, so I don't need both of us knocked out. So I was, yeah. By the time we got home, my knee was very painful and everything else. But that was the funniest, weirdest. It is a weird story. She's like, because we both are medically educated, we both know that basically food poisoning, unless it's like a super severe outbreak, and that there's tests for that, which we did, and it was not there. It's not food poisoning, but that whatever she ate just didn't sit well, upset her stomach, and it just would not. It's one of those cases where it wouldn't stop without some medications, and that medication just made her loopy.
Well, because usually if it's actual food poisoning, it'll clear up within an hour and a half ish. Because well, by that point, you're empty.
Yeah. I've had some weird scenarios, but I don't know.
So no, that is not a fun time. Not a fun time at all.
And that's one of those stories I remember almost like a TV episode, because I remember like driving up to because it was an outing, right? I finally get to go do something, kind of see friendly faces, go to a world that welcomes me, because they loved me there. And I just kind of remember going through the fire department with the crutches, and I'm 6'7", so it's a big deal to be on crutches. And having dinner and having a good times and going home and going, man, that was a fun night. To then the plot twists, and then we spend the night at the ER, and it's
a not so fun night.
Picture any small town podunk hospital, right? This ER, Quotey Fingers, consisted of one room for BS, basically, the nurse's station, the room for a heart attack, and then behind the nurse's station that you had to go around the hall to get to as a civilian, three beds with curtains. That's it. That's the ER. So that makes the story even more weirder to go through. It's like, everybody pictures like the big city hospitals. No, not at all. Like, it was almost ghost town. We were there, and the nurses were just in another room doing their thing. They'd come to, and now they all knew us. Aaron worked there at the hospital at the time. I was a paramedic in the area. But yeah, it's a weird story.
Oh man. But yeah, especially because I would assume you guys were eating the same thing, but it didn't hit you weird.
Yeah,
it just hit her.
Didn't hit me at all. Yeah, it just hit her. So yeah, and we basically did. We definitely both had the pork chops. I mean, if anything, she's the picky eater, so I would have had everything, and she would have had less. So yeah, no idea.
Yeah, I've definitely had instances where Kelsey's gotten food poisoning and I didn't, and she, as far as we knew, we ate the same thing for each meal that day, and I think some people are just, their gut health is more sensitive. So
yeah, and like you said, I mean, once you're empty, it should be done, and
yeah, you'll still feel like junk, but
with the heaving, the consistent, and oh my God, I hate that the worst. It's like, I'd rather have something going with the contractions than that dry heave. I'm like, I start yelling at my body. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Either get it out or shut the F up, because this is dumb. I just triggered a bunch of people. I apologize.
Yep, you made that noise.
I'm only sorry that I didn't get to see your reaction when I triggered you. That's really all I'm sorry about.
Oh man, yeah, not fun at all. So hopefully not too many of our listeners feel sick after that story, because there definitely are people who are sensitive that if they just heard this, that.
Well, I'm sure they figured out pretty quickly as I built into it. I danced around some things, and then
yep. So,
should I really trigger people? You ready to paramedic trigger story?
Sure.
Okay, so Thanksgiving morning. This is all right, and honestly, we're gonna end the show with this. Good night, everybody. If you don't want to hear a stomach wrenching story, but this is the paramedic humor in me, and this is a true story. So Thanksgiving morning, I'm getting off shift at 6:30. Maybe I came on shift. It doesn't matter. But the reason I know it's Thanksgiving is because Dad of the family stayed up all night doing turkey stuff, smoking it, frying it, whatever. I don't know what he's doing, but he was eating chili and cheese all night as his overnight snack or whatever. How do I know that, you might ask? Because we got called for a heart attack. It's not the funny part. We got called for a heart attack.
I sure hope the heart attack isn't the funny part.
No, it really isn't. And so he'd been up all night, and whatever comorbidities, which means different things that make your body sick. He had a heart attack, right? So we're doing CPR, this and that and the other, and I've got the suction. So I'm the paramedic. So I'm sitting at the head of the patient, and everybody else we're doing everything we're supposed to do, right? And I'm doing the suction, and he had expressed, you know what? If you haven't clipped off now, too late. He had vomited chili cheese copious amounts, and so I'm trying to put an airway in. So I'm suction. You could smell it, dude. It smelled fresh. It smelled like a fresh pot of chili and cheese, and I knew I had some sensitive firefighters. So after I did the medicine, right, got the tube in, we're breathing, we're doing everything we can for this dude. We're going along, and I looked at my partner, and my partner got that look too, and I was like, "Hey, partner, what are you thinking about lunch today?" Or they asked me that. They asked me, "What do I think about lunch?" Like, I was kind of thinking get some chili cheese dogs out at the Crystals, and 2 of the firefighters went pale white. And I was about to pee myself laughing. He's like, we did though. We absolutely we got chili cheese dogs for lunch at the Crystal. So yeah. So all right, everybody, thank you for listening to the paramedic horror story, and we hope your stomach feels better soon.
Follow these nerdy dads on social media. Charles at Rock God of Podcasting. Joe at Joseph_Ard. Check out the website, wiseandnerdy.com. And as always, they may not be your father, but they'll always be your daddy.
Shut up, Mike.